So the Gesundheit Personnel Net is for those in Africa that want to come to the work visa route. Don't miss it. And the Regierungs Präsidium as for those who are already in Germany but want to do the process. So the document is pretty much the same. So let's start from there. Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sandra and this is Sandie's Joyful Space. I'm a registered nurse living and working in Germany. So guys, sorry that this video is coming a bit late. Yeah, I know that this is one of my most requested videos from you guys, and yeah, I've been having shift back to back, hence the delay. But today I said Sandra, no more excuses. We're gonna film this video today. So today I'm talking about the whole process, how to become a registered nurse in Germany. You know, if you are a nurse who studied in Africa, who studied in any other, you know, part of the world, wherever you studied, it doesn't matter. But your desire or your wish is to come to Germany and practice and work in Germany, then this video is for you. So guys, without, you know, beating around the bush, let's just dive into the video. So first of all, it's kind of divided into two parts. Why do I say that? There are some of you who have, you know, written to me, your desire is to come to Germany through like a work visa route, whereby you find a hospital or a, you know, Pflegeheim, that is an old people home, who will, you know, give you a contract, and then you come through the work visa route. And there are some other people who are already in Germany, and they are nurses who practice in Africa, but they're already in Germany. They came to Germany through maybe family reunion or like other type of visa. They have been living in Germany, just like me. You know, I was already living in Germany, married, had a daughter and all that before, you know, I started the whole process of becoming a registered nurse in Germany. The recognition process, the whole getting recognized as a nurse in Germany is kind of the same for everyone. But those that are coming from Africa through the work visa route, who wants to come here from Africa directly to Germany as a nurse, you have to, you know, start from the visa process and all that. So I'll be starting with those who are in Africa and want to come to Germany through the work visa route. So if you want to come here, the first thing you have to do is you have to learn the language. Yes, the language is the key. Without the language, there is no way you can even survive. Like if you have watched my previous video where I talk about what I face daily as a, you know, black nurse working in Germany, it's not easy. Without the language, just forget it. So first of all, you have to look for a German language school in your country. When you find one, you have to register and start the classes, because you'll be needing at least a B1 level of the German language. My hospital, for instance, they used to allow B1 level, but right now I'm hearing they want to even, you know, change the law to a B2 level. There are a lot of people who come to our hospital from different countries. They are coming in with their B2, and like, you know, it's possible. Don't be scared, it's possible. Yeah, but if you have the B1, like, you are still good to go, because there's hospitals who are still accepting the B1. Also the old people home, you know, the care homes, they are still, you know, accepting B1. So that's something to, you know, make you be scared or whatever. Yeah, so when you start the language can take you about, depending how fast you are with learning new languages, from A1 to B1 can take you roughly 9 months to 1 year. Yeah, it can take you roughly 9 months to 1 year. During the process where you are doing your language and all that, because the process is a bit of a long process, you want to start quickly. So when you have already registered for the language course, you are doing the language course, I will advise you to start the process immediately. So there is this site you have to go to. It's called the Gesundheit Personnel Net. I'll put it on the screen. Just go on Google and type Gesundheit Personnel Net. I'll put it on the screen. So when you go there, you will see where they will put, like, if you are from outside the country, you will see a column for you. Just click on it and then register. Like, follow the process. It's very easy. You could change the language to English, to whatever language, and then you understand what is written there, and follow the process. Register. So what this Gesundheit Personnel Net is, it's just like an agency that will form a middleman for you. So they'll be the one to, you know, help you get all your certificates, you know, help you submit it here in Germany. After you have been accepted into the process, help you now find an hospital where you will do your whole recognition process. You are in a canon. This agent is not going to pay your flight ticket for you. This agent is not going to like pay accommodation for you. No. They are just there to just help you because of maybe language barrier, and maybe because you are not used to the process. like they're just there to guide you. Yes, that's just it. Yeah, and to make the process a bit easier for you. So when you go on the site, you register and send them an email and everything, they'll reply you. When they reply you, they will ask you to send all your documents. They will tell you the documents to send to them, your nursing certificate, your transcript, like everything they want you to send, you will send it to them. So now if you're already in Germany and you want to start this process, instead of you to go through the Gesundheitspersonalnet, you just go on Google and type Regierungspräsidium. Those are people already in Germany, but they studied nursing in Africa, but they want to do their recognition process. They want to be recognized here. So I'll just go to Google. Don't go to Gesundheitspersonalnet. No, you have to go to the Regierungspräsidium. Like just type Regierungspräsidium near you. So just call them or go to their office and tell them, oh, I am a registered nurse from my country, from so and so country. I would love to be recognized in Germany. What are the process? They will tell you what to bring. So the Gesundheitspersonalnet is for those in Africa that want to come to the work visa route. Don't miss it. And the Regierungspräsidium is for those who are already in Germany but want to do the process. So the document is pretty much the same. So let's start from there. So the Gesundheitspersonalnet will tell you to send them your nursing certificate, your transcript. You should send it to them. And when you send it to them, they will be the one to submit it to the Regierungspräsidium. Why those of you already in Germany, you don't need these people. You can go to the Regierungspräsidium yourself. So when they tell you to bring your nursing certificate, your transcript, you gather everything and you send it to them. But before you send it to them, those of you who are in Germany, you have to translate it. So you have to look for a registered translator who will translate your certificate and your transcript for you. So after translating it, you put everything together and then you send it. Yes. So when you send it, you wait for their reply. The same thing. Those of you in Africa, when you give it to the Gesundheitspersonalnet and they send it also to the Regierungspräsidium, they wait for the reply. So when they reply you, for me, for instance, when they replied me, they told me to bring more documents. So what did they ask me? They wanted to see the breakdown of all the courses I did from first year to third year. They want to see like, okay, if you did anatomy, okay, list it, anatomy, psychology, so whatever you did in first year, list it. And then they want to see how many hours you did those courses. Like how many hours was those courses done in that semester. Break it down for us. And the practical also, list the wards you went to and how many hours did you spend doing those practicals. So this document I'm talking about is either your nursing school or the university where you studied that will be able to give it to you. So I contacted my nursing school back in Ghana and they prepared it for me. So you have to go back to your school and tell them that you need a breakdown of all the hours you did every course, both theory and practical. They want to, see it. For the Gesundheitspersonalnet, I think they already know the process. So even from the beginning for you, they will tell you to send everything. For me, I didn't know the process. So I only sent the certificate and the transcript first. Then they now told me to bring the breakdown of the hours. So I will just tell you, if you want to do this process, instead of you to be doing it 2-3 times, I'll tell you to do everything once so that you don't have to, wait for them to reply you, because the first reply took like 2-3 months before they replied me to send this document. Yeah, so I will tell you to prepare everything. Those of you who are in Germany, prepare all the documents. Those of you who are in Africa, get that Personnel to tell you all what to prepare. If that is not added, maybe you can add it. And those of you in Germany, just prepare everything I just said and send it to the Regierungspräsidium and wait for their reply. So after I sent the second document, I waited for their reply, and then they replied me and said, yes, everything has been approved, accepted, and now I have to some months of recognition, like training in a German hospital, like an hospital here in Germany, or the Pflegeheim, the old people home. Yeah, so you have to choose where you want to do it. Yes, so those of you in Africa, the Gesundheitspersonalnet will now tell you that, okay, you've been accepted, you have to do at least 6 months of recognition in a hospital or old people home. They will tell you. And those of you here in Germany, they will tell you, oh, you have maybe 6 months, 7 months. The highest I've seen is 18 months. Some people get 18 months, some people get 12 months, some people get 9 months, some people get 6 months. Yeah, that's the variations that it goes. So when they tell you, they will send you all the documents you will need to start the process. So at that time, you have to start applying to hospitals, old people homes, anyone you like. For me, I wanted to work in an hospital because that is where I wanted to, to be. So I started applying to different hospitals, started going for interview. Yes, you go for interview. At this time, I was doing my language course. I was still going to the language school. So at this point in time, I've passed my B1s. Yeah, before I started the process, I passed my B1s first so that I could, start applying to the hospitals. Yeah, so I had my B1s in my hand. When I started applying to those hospitals, I was using my B1 certificate and all the documents from the Regionals Presidium to apply to this hospital. And some hospitals will tell me, oh, your Dutch, you have to, you are not flowing like the way we want you to flow. I was like, okay, so I kept applying. So for you, the Gesundheit personnel network in Africa, they will help you to do the application. So they'll be applying for you, and when they get an interview for you, you will do an online interview with the hospital. And what I've heard from some people is they miss both German and English, so they will not speak so deep German with you, because at this time you're already going to the German school there. Like by now you should have maybe had your B1s, so you should be able to speak a little bit of German at this time. So they will speak a little bit of German with you, and but mostly English. Yeah, so you do the interview, and after the whole interview, when you pass, then you found yourself an employer, like a hospital or old people home, wherever route to take. Yeah, so when I found my hospital, I just love the way the lady who interviewed me in the hospital where I am right now. She was so nice. She was like, oh, your Dutch is perfect, it's good, like I'm even impressed. There are some people who even come, they can't even speak anything. At least we could communicate. Like, why are you saying you don't speak good Dutch? Because I was telling her, I don't think my Dutch is that good. I was like, oh no, like I didn't say it outright like that, but the way I sounded, she felt like I wasn't confident in my Dutch. I was like, don't feel like that. You are speaking well. Like I could understand what you are saying, so that's okay. So yeah, after the whole interview, I got my contract to start the recognition process, the training process. Yeah, so the same thing with you in Africa. They will send you the contract that, okay, you can now start. So at that point in time, it is that contract you will now take to the embassy. Your contract that I offer you a job whereby you are going to do your recognition in Germany and then become a nurse, like that contract, it will state everything you are going to do in the contract. So you will take it with you, and maybe accommodation and things like that. And the good thing is, during the recognition process, you get paid. So that's a good thing, because in the embassy they want to see proof of fund, like how you're going to fund yourself. I've also heard that there are some hospitals that don't pay. I don't know how true that is. I've heard it like from one person or two people like that. I'm not that sure, but most people have heard they get paid during the process. So that is good for those who are coming from Africa, because for the proof of fund, you could show that you could ask your hospital if you get paid. And if you get paid, they should state it in the letter, in the contract, so that when you are presenting it, it will be like a form of proof of fund for you, that you could take care of yourself with that income. Yeah, so you go to the embassy with all the things you need. Just go to the embassy, find out what they will ask you to bring, go with everything you need to the German embassy, and when you get your visa, yeah, you fly into Germany and you start your recognition process. If it's 6 months, you start the 6 months process. You begin to go to the hospital. And guys, one thing I forgot to mention is this process is easier in some countries than some other countries. Like in West Africa, it's possible, but it's not as easy like South Africa, East Africa, and other parts of Africa that I've heard. So that does not mean that you shouldn't try the process. Have I seen someone from West Africa who used the process and it works? Yes, I have seen. But just that it's a little bit more tedious or more process than those who are from South Africa or East Africa. Let me mention that, by the way. Just get into the system, yeah. And if you're already in Germany, you start the process, also going to the hospital. And what does that entails? It entails that you'll be working under a registered nurse, so you'll not be allowed to do things like alone. You'll not be allowed to be working and just doing things alone. You'll be assigned with a registered nurse. You and the registered nurse will work for that day. So you will look what she's doing, you will see what she's doing. You could do some little things like measuring of vital signs, some few things like that. They will allow you to do it. But when it comes to some procedures, you will not be allowed to do it in the beginning. You will only be allowed to just observe it, and later on when your process is about ending, you will not be allowed to do it under supervision. Yeah, and depends on how good you are. If you are very good, you don't even need to do it under supervision. Like for instance, before the end of my process, there were some things I could do without supervisions like that. Yeah, so if you are good, they trust you, you can begin to even do some things, but still you still work under a registered nurse. On no account would you be like just assign 4 patients, 6 patients alone. Not until you finish the process, write the exam, pass, get a certificate, before you will be allowed to just say, okay, I'm assigned to this number of patients. No, that one is not going to happen during the process. Yes, so when the process is getting to an end, you start preparing yourself for the exams. I did an oral exams. I've heard in some places where they do written exams, but in my city, I stay in the Essen region in Frankfurt, so it was the oral exam, which I kind of prefer. Yes, it has its own disadvantage, but I prefer it. Yeah, so it was an oral exam. We got the topic a month before the exam. Like they'll give you the whole headline, the whole topic, but you have to go and prepare, read about the topic, prepare yourself, and the day of the exams, you come, you sit, they ask you questions. So it was 2 examiners that were asking me the questions on that day. For me, it was a man and a woman, and yeah, they were pretty okay, just that the man was a bit more more strict, like he was asking a lot of questions. Yeah, the lady was more calm, she didn't really ask questions that much. So after the oral exams, when you pass, or the written exams, that is it. You get a certificate as a registered nurse in Germany, and then you can work in anywhere you want to work. You want to work in the old people home, you want to work in the hospital, like you can work anywhere you want to work. So for a registered nurse in Germany, like you can work in whether old people home like the Pflegeheim, or that you can work in hospital, that is like the Krankenhaus. That is not an issue, because even now they've changed the system where they call it the generalistic hospital, whereby you do everything. Yeah, before it was there's a kind of demarcation before in the past, like nurses in the old people home and those in the hospital, but now like you can just be everywhere. And those of us even coming from Africa, we already had that already, because I did general nursing, for instance, so I can be everywhere, psychiatric ward, with newborns in the maternity ward, anywhere. So the same thing here, when you pass, you can also work anywhere you want to work. So guys, that's just a breakdown of the whole process. I hope I was able to explain it. If you have any questions, drop in the comment section. I try to break it down as much as possible. I hope you guys understand like the way I explained it, but if it's not clear, or there are still questions you want to ask, please drop in the comment section. For the part of those coming from Africa, I'm still doing research about it. I'm still trying to learn more about it, because it's something that for me is new. That's not the route I came with. As I said, I was already in Germany before I started the process. Yeah, so for those of you already in Germany, it's a plus. You just start the process like right away. Go to the Regierungspresidium and start your process. It's not difficult, you can do it. But one thing I didn't mention, why you need a B2, let me mention it, is because even if the hospital accepts you to start the process with a B1, when you finish the process and you pass your oral or written exams, like the nursing exams, when you pass it at the end of the whole training process, when you pass that exam, when you are applying for your certificate, you need to apply with a B2 certificate. So you need a B2 language certificate, and the paper that you have passed your training process, your recognition process. When you bring those things, that is when you'll be given a certificate as a registered nurse in Germany. So that is why you need a B2. So that's why some hospitals are saying, what's the need? Let's just take nurses who already have their B2, because we don't want the stress of, some people are now trying to pass the B2, because there are some cases whereby some people have finished their training, they've passed the nursing, exam, whereby they've finished everything, but they've not passed the B2. They are still trying to pass the B2. They are still struggling with them. There are some people who have that issue, because at that point in time, you've passed everything, you finish your training, you've passed, you are just waiting for your B2, you are writing and trying to wait for the result, and if you don't pass again, you have to go back and write it, and at this point, you will not be recognized as a registered nurse. You will not be paid as a registered nurse. You will still be paid as someone who is doing the training, because you need to pass your B2 to be given the certificate. So that is why it's good for you to focus on getting the B2. So no matter what, focus on it. For me, I got my B2 during the process of my training process, when I was doing the recognition process. At that time, I wrote the B2, and thank God I passed. I passed on the second attempt, yes. And I'm glad that I finished it before I finished my, training process, the recognition process, so that at the end of the day, I could just apply for my certificate and get it at once. So guys, thank you for watching to this point. If you have any questions, I said before, drop in the comment section, and see you guys in the next one. Bye.